Back to Starfield. In the last couple episodes, we had started the Vanguard West line, and we had some Terramorph on what was it, Tau something too. On Tau Ceti. So we had a Terramorph come on that planet. That wouldn't be a bad thing considering that Terramorphs normally show up around, 70 to 100 years, after civilization set. That's normal. The problem is that they're about 50 to 70 years too early. And so we're trying to get to the bottom of that mess. We had to do a couple of missions because the planet got hit with that, and then we had to go find another person, and we had to do a mission behind that because they didn't trust us. Yada yada yada. We're here now, and we're about to go in here and see what progress we have with this sample.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests.
Sure, you don't have to.
And Lou mentioned how you took care of the dead. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days.
I mean, that makes sense.
All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. She was disconcertingly correct, trying a little habit of Adrian's. Which is why, if you wanted to have your film crew jump out and yell surprise, I wouldn't be saddened in the least.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you right now that Joker wasn't fake.
Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst Terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian.
Yep. I don't like these two options. There definitely should have been a third saying that, yeah, I did the research on that. It was horrifying. Yeah, that joke was terrible.
An entire city wiped off the map. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any Terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-Terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity. So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You wanna tell me what your plans are for it now?
Yeah, we're supposed to be taking you to the sixth circle, so we can analyze. We can take the analysis. Ugh. Yeah, you're coming with me. I think, yeah, we're gonna start. Stop any attacks.
Castro could take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Alright, come on. Yeah, at least I know now that you can have more than one follower, which is cool. Yeah, because I don't understand why I couldn't have more than one follower. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Oh, I'll be right back. Alright, definitely. I had to get rid of that bottom screen. That was aggravating. But yeah, I don't understand one one thing about this game. Why can't I have more than one companion? At least to my knowledge right now, I only have one companion following me at any given moment, which does not make sense to me. All things considering, I should be able to have at least three. Now if I could unlock it later on through one of like the skill tree, the perks or whatever, then I'd be all right. But I don't understand, man. Especially since this would be several years in the making, almost 25 years in talks. This would be one of the things where they would work on that. It's food.
Sidonia's not much to look at, but it's full of UC history.
Do your part to keep Sidonia living.
All right.
Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
Okay, so can we talk about the fact that this man just appeared? I did all that jumping down from the whatchamacallit, he just appeared.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble.
Nah.
That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact.
Yeah.
So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us.
If all you need is someone to charm some higher up, I'm your guy.
Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story.
What, so what I was
Percival
told
and
wasn't the whole story?
We're not just
story?
researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare.
Yeah.
A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done.
know who y'all are. You know, y'all past ain't none of my concern, for real, for real. Well, no, it actually is, because that shit wasn't supposed to be running around. You know.
Oh, well, that, that means a lot. It's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it.
Alright, let's talk to the
All
cabinet.
right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
Oh, I like the fact that I'm getting paid for it. So yeah, let's get to New Atlantis and see what's going on.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Wait, you said clone? Yeah, I want to know, how the heck does that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
The other
I'm
clones?
the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Damn. So, clone. Anyway, I'm ignoring it. Doesn't sound like they succeeded it. That's so fucking
No. They made a pretty grave miscalculation. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death, on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
But it sounded to me like you're more of his child than a damn clone. Which would explain why y'all aren't, the same. In that regard. More than likely when people use things like clone and stuff like that, you tend to make somebody that's at least 95 100% just like the person body. You know, you're not a clone. At that point, you might as well just say you're his child. Like, that makes way more sense that this man was that they was just out here just making children have his gene, as opposed to making somebody that's a direct
what you
clone.
deserve to know.
You know, so of course they failed in that retrospect. You know, those people, those clones, siblings of your, no, those were your siblings. Those were your brothers and sisters that died. Let's call it what it is. So, what
He
did
had
do?
his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne.
Oh yeah, he's wild.
A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the colony war to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. My areas of expertise are pretty specific, but messed up families are up there. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go. Yes? You needed something?
That's crazy. They really about to sit here and blame her for something her father did? Like that's gotta be the wildest thing. To blame somebody for what their father did. Like I wasn't alive when this happened. I'm not even a like you're not even a guy, you're a girl. Like, come on, dog. That don't even make sense.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I gotta just being sarcastic. We're gonna try to keep this as straightforward as possible. Adrian made it clear that addressing the issue required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes,
that's
well,
what-
precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno-Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Listen, I'm gonna just tell you straight. We need the archive data to follow it to stop a possible terramorph apocalypse. Because if it's anything like the one terramorph I fought, mind you, I had help. Milady, I just want to let you know, I had help. And my guns wasn't doing jack for all damage. Okay? I need you to understand this, man. So, yeah, we need this data yesterday. You know, there's a chance we can stop this from spreading to other planets. Because, at least to what Hadrian told me, right? That
It's a little intimidating. I understand.
Shut your mouth. So yeah, these terramorphs aren't supposed to be here for another 50 to 70 years, and they're early dog. So if we're talking like 20 years after settling on a planet, who knows how quick this can escalate? We're talking about you settle on a planet and 5 years later you gotta leave it because the terramorphs have already begun. So yeah, we might want to stop this now. So continue.
That's quite the leap, Captain. Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask how many deaths the cabinet requires to act. 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you?
It wiped out a colony that never saw it coming. Like, nobody was prepared for this. I need you to understand. I could see if they came through and they were able to kill it and it took out like 1 or 3 people or whatever. You know, that's not alarming. To take an entire base filled with people who tried to defend themselves and couldn't, that's trifling. Like, and then a part of me wants to say that tissue kind of matched ones from Indian, but I'm like, real talk.
That is worth considering. This attack took place on an almost completely uninhabited world. The casualties were minimal as a result. But if there's another attack, will we be so lucky?
Yes, a fine point, Admiral. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah.
As am I.
I suppose that does get to the heart of the point, doesn't it? Very well. I consent. The galaxy was lucky you were here today, Captain.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What was that?
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
Hello? There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then. We'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it.
Yes, man.
Captain?
I don't need bullets at all. Alright, let's do it. Oh yeah, who can have seen that?
You! The EM rifle, grab
That's
it!
it. Now hit him.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I normally actually keep an EM weapon with me. Don't have a laser rifle? No, I don't.
With everything you've got. Stop! We're trying to help you!
Right between the eyes. They're making this too easy. That was a goner.
Let me.
I don't want to die. Quiet. You're gonna get its attention.
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Sound like you were saying that I could be turned. I can.
Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
I need to talk to you. Sorry.
I don't want to die. Quiet. You're gonna get its attention.
Come on. Dang, they shut everything down. I was gonna try to see if I can get this dude right here to use the voice call. He being scary.
Thought I heard something.
God, no time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
For the
favorite it, but yeah, favorite it.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
Damn. Oh damn, I don't have any healing.
You're going to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not real. We have to put down that force.
I'm about to die, people. I'm about to die. That's so I don't.
Help! Help! They're gonna kill me! Pull back! Hurry, help!
Quiet. You're gonna get its attention.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can. Don't let them get into your head.
Where's the fire team? Because I need.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
I actually have.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. We're not afraid, but we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts.
I'm gonna go against my better judgment and say we'll handle.
Your call. We're on the line. Got some orders for us?
I'm not gonna lie. I need equipment. Please, I need something. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. So no one has.
Still more out there. Be careful.
Okay. You said you had supplies. Why would you lie to me?
I'm never gonna skip an arms practice again as long as I live.
that me being stupid because I didn't think ahead of time, so.
Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
Evacuation order has been issued. Shields are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You want backup? Don't just stand there. Good.
Oh. Here. Hell no.
I'm glad you're on my side back there.
Okay, I didn't lose that much health this time.
Wait, officer?
Yeah, not doing that again. We want you watching our back.
We're on you.
Eyes open.
Yeah. Changing plans? On it.
Area's clear. For now. I need cover now.
Damn it, can't hit through. Damn. Alright, we got one. Now this probably be easier if I was on a lower difficulty though, but nah for so many. I know this ain't my damn ship. Oh yeah. I know what the retreat is. Nah, because I'm not going over there. Think you slick game. Run. Damn it. Ah.
There's one right. Oh God, Captain, you're going to be okay. Found them.
Pop out of there.
They got me. Target in sight.
This gotta be the person.
Got me. Damn.
All wrapped up. We should go tell the sergeant what happened. The cabinet. They're going to have to help after they hear what happened. Not in a million years. Another attack, just as we're making our request. It's insane.
It's almost like somebody
If this doesn't convince the cabinet to proceed with our request, I don't know what will.
And then here's the thing about it. The worst thing about it is that it was from what was that planet called again? From the war. So if it's from there, somebody had to migrate that to other planets. That's not something that just leave. You feel me?
Almost hard to believe. Suppose we were just in the right place at the right time.
Adrian, why do I get the feeling you're gonna betray me? Cause I got a strong suspicion that I'm gonna have to.
Quiet. You're gonna get its attention.
I gotta
I don't wanna die.
He's being such a punk right now, and it's pissing me off. I hate to take stuff from my people,
Thank the heavens you're back in one piece. Well, I guess our people weren't so lucky.
but their sacrifice wasn't in vain. The city is not safe. Hey, yo, that's trifling on the bottom. I'm not gonna lie.
The few protecting the many.
And it would have been plenty more if it hadn't been for the two of you.
The city owes you both a debt after this.
We were just in the right place at the right time. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Quiet. You're gonna get its attention.
Who's it? Dog, they're gone. It's the first time I've seen this shut down. Before it shut down, everything shut down.
The spaceport has been secured.
I'm sorry, these people need me. In the middle of something here.
What is it? Please, just leave me alone.
I need some.
You anti-Xeno squad? Well, you should be. You take care of those things? Thank God. It moves so fast.
I just want to buy some. Oh my God, I can't buy no. I can't buy no equipment. I can't.
Well, that was a nightmare.
Can I talk to you, Simeon?
Is it actually over?
I guess I can't talk to Simeon until this whole thing is over. Because you know he being such a pansy right now, starting to actually piss me off.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
The next time Terrormorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
I doubt that.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yo, oh my God, I have to do this again. Oh, God, I have to do this again. Like, I'm playing the good guy route right now because it's very hard to actually be a hole. But I do want to do another playthrough where I play as an absolute fool. You feel me? I mean, not an absolute. Wow, I use it.
Of course.
An a-hole.
I only wish I could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent.
That dude right
but
there.
As you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the same question.
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terrormorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
It was 3 and I had help from like 5 people. You know what? Fine. You're sure that's the wisest of action. Let's do it.
In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, let's
now,
get it done.
We, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Damage to the spaceport.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together.
Anything I can help with? I'll take good care of this.
I needed this bad, but he was using it. 7.52 is a rifle.
Pardon?
McIntyre's going to have my ass if I can't find that file.
These orders... A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
Load that.
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terramorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
Yeah.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Faroon.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Faroon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done.
Considering that y'all done started fights with not one, but both of these idiots. I got it.
Very funny. This is going to be hard enough already. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Faroon?
Let's go with the hardest one. Because I heard House Faroon weapons are on a whole nother level. And I need that in my life.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge.
When the rest of House Faroon retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here.
He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Faroon thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
What's wrong with House Faroon?
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Faroon Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Faroon did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
That sounds problematic.
Of course, but there is another wrinkle. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
Here's hoping we're not changing.
It would at least be a speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, This device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Captain. Captain. The good Ambassador Ratcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Alright, tell me how these other
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze.
UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Any other things I should avoid doing inside the embassy?
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts. All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Ratcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
You got it, man.
Thank you.